Hey girl, welcome to my week 3 update. Oh my god. Y'all, whatever I said about week 1 and week 2 being hard, I take it back. I take back everything I said because week 3 was literally like, what the actual hell was that? What the actual hell? No, let's talk about it, girl. First of all, I want to start off the video by saying I'm so proud of myself. Like, can you believe 3 weeks? I'm in week 4 now, in the present tense. And I'm like, I'm so proud of myself. Almost like a week. Wait, let me just recalibrate the whiteboard. Almost a month of being consistent in my deficit. What? I'm gagged. I'm actually gagged. Because this week, I've started to notice some things, girl. Some things have been happening. So let's just get straight into it. So this week has been a real mixture of ups and downs, to be honest. Mainly downs, I'm not going to lie. I'm not even going to lie. I threw a bit of a wobble. I had a real wobble this week. And I'm not sure if that is because it was week 3 of losing weight. Because it was almost coming to a month after my breakup. Or whether it was me coming into the luteal phase in my hormone cycle. And you know what? Probably it was a combination of all three of them things. However, we stuck to it. We stayed disciplined. I didn't give in. I didn't let any of that shit stop me, get me down. And I kept going. And now the week is done. And I feel so proud of myself. And I truly believe that I am building the best version of myself with every single day that I choose discipline and I put my goals first and choose a peaceful and productive life over chaos and toxic relationships. Every single day is just a step towards me being the best person I could possibly be, like my highest self. And I literally feel like I'm embodying it more and more each day. And it's so exciting. So let's get into what exactly was going on in week 3. Why did I pull my fingers up like that? I don't know. Guys, also, do you like my new nails? Oh, how cute are they? If you've watched my What I Eat in a Day, you'll have seen them already. And if you haven't watched my What I Eat in a Day, sis, go check it out. Okay, let's start off with the positives because it felt like a generally quite negative week. So I'm going to start this video off with the progress and the wins that I saw. So my first win was my steps averaged out at about 12,000k every single day. I started off the first couple of weeks about 10k, and then in week 3 I pushed for a little bit higher and I managed to hit that every single day, which I'm so proud of myself for. My body in myself feeling generally a little bit lighter everywhere, a little bit, I was saying last week, I'd noticed my collarbones had like a little bit more defined, like my hands and my wrists are all just slowly but surely showing a little bit more definition each week. Now the thing that I struggled with this week, and I think this is why I had a bit of a wobble, was because, like I said before, I was going into my luteal phase. I get super bloated, not around my period, not when I'm ovulating. It's in my luteal phase. It's like early luteal phase when I'm just transitioning from ovulation into luteal. I get so bloated, but like it's an absolute joke how bloated I get. There must be like something wrong there because I actually look pregnant. And because that was the stage of my cycle that I went into on week 3, I almost felt like I was going backwards. Now, logically, I knew that I wasn't because I'm very aware of like, right, this is my cycle bloat and I have been eating in a deficit, so it is going to be working. It's just your body kind of playing a little trick on you because it's so early and it's still regulating itself. But it was so disheartening to like look in the mirror and be like, I actually look bigger than I was last week. And I felt sluggish, lethargic, tired. I was holding so much water weight around my stomach area and I was just like, what the hell? What the hecky hell is this? But like I said, it was a strange thing because around my stomach I was bloated, but around everywhere else I kind of saw the signs of progress. But still, my brain was trying to convince me, girl, this is not working. Let's go get your takeaway, get your beer, go back to your old methods. Let's just cancel, abort mission. Because I'd had a little bit of practice at keeping this mindset, being disciplined for a couple of weeks before, I found that I was really quite good at just allowing myself to think whatever I needed to think and get what I needed to get done anyway, like tick my boxes regardless. And I kept on getting my steps when I was tired and grumpy and I didn't want to leave the house. I still went to the gym even though I felt frumpy and I was self-conscious. I just decided to like step out of my head for a bit and be like, you know what, this actually doesn't matter. I've got goals and I know exactly how to get there, so I'm gonna just do it regardless of how I feel or what I think I look like. Pretty much just told myself, get on with it, girl. You need to get over it and get on with it, or else you're not going to achieve what you want to achieve. Calories around the same again, so you know I'm eating in a 1,500 deficit. It's not strict at all, like sometimes it goes up to 1,600, it just depends. Anywhere in between that ballpark. I have been tracking, keeping progress. Like I said, I've filmed a what I eat in a day, so if you want to go check that out and see exactly what I've been eating, please do. Week 3 was the first week of this journey where I was like, do you know what? I know I need a little treat. I need a little something before I go out of my freaking mind. So I think it was Friday night. On Friday night, I treated myself. I went over my calories by 300. Sue me. But I knew that because my steps had increased for the week, then that one night going over my calories by 300 really wasn't that much of an issue and it would not stop me seeing any progress. Because I was just, imagine a week straight of feeling lethargic, feeling sad, feeling grumpy. I'm just like, by the time I get to Friday, I'm like, girl, if I don't have something to give me a little dopamine hit, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I need something. So I said, right, you know what? I'm gonna allow myself a little treat. My favorite tea of all time, a little bulldog noodle bowl. Guys, it was so good. So the thing is, I had to compromise with myself because usually when I make my bulldog bowl, I'm getting the fried chicken, I'm getting spring rolls, I'm getting gyozas. Sometimes I'm getting crispy pork belly, I'm putting it on top, like we're going cheese, we're going egg. No topping is spared when I make my bulldog bowl. And that is why I love them so much. However, I didn't want to completely blow my progress out of the water and add on an extra 1,000 calories because that's what I'm trying to avoid. So I thought to myself, right, I'm going to make my noodles and I'm going to swap out the toppings so that I can make it more calorie deficit friendly. So I did the noodles and I put quite a lot of pak choy in to bulk it out with the volume of the fibre without adding too many more calories. I did 1 egg, no cheese. And then for the meat on top, I did prawns. So super low calorie. Honestly, when I had it, I was like, this is amazing. Like I didn't feel like I was missing out. I felt like I was fully indulging in this treat and it only ended up being about an extra 300 calories on top of my 1,500 a day. Another really interesting thing that happened was the day after that, I felt no shame whatsoever. I didn't feel like I had relapsed or binged or gone back on my progress, which are all feelings that I used to struggle with. If I'd allowed myself a little treat the night before, I would be like, oh my god, I fucked it up, blah, 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 blah. I didn't feel that at all. I was just like, okay, let's carry on today's normal. And this on the Saturday, I ate in my deficit, my 1,500, like, and it was absolutely fine. So that's something that I'm also super proud of, because although, yeah, I've got these goals to achieve and I have to be a bit disciplined with myself, I'm just a girl. Like, I like a little treat. I like a little bulldog bowl. Like, I have to enjoy myself sometimes, you know? And I should be allowed to do that with no guilt whatsoever. And so I was very happy about that. Okay, big challenges in week 3. This was the first week where I fully got the binge urge. If you've struggled with binge eating in the past, or you struggle now, you'll know the urge that I'm talking about. It's full body panic mode. We need to eat anything, and we need to eat anything right now. It's like an out of body experience, but it's really hard to describe to someone who hasn't felt the binge urge before, because it literally is like you are out of control of your body. I was like pacing the house thinking, oh my god, I'm gonna slip up, like I don't trust myself, like I'm gonna lose control. And that was actually the night that I had the noodles. Oh, hold on, my dog needs out for a wee. What was I saying? Oh yeah, about the binging. So yeah, it's quite a complicated feeling to explain to somebody who has never really felt it. But yeah, this was the first week where I fully got that urge. And this is when I chose to go over my calories a little bit, as to avoid a massive binge. Because if you continue to restrict yourself when you're in that mindset and don't let yourself have a little bit of something, it can sometimes lead to the kind of coiled spring effect where you're almost more likely to do it within the next few days, and I just didn't want to do that. I promised myself this time that, as hard as it is, I'm in control of my body, I'm in control of my mind, and there's always a reason behind these binges. And when I sat down and felt what I needed to feel, I realised that throughout the day there'd been a lot of triggers, of emotional triggers, that I'd taken in without fully noticing. And it was only when I sat down and thought, oh wait, this happened and this happened and this happened, and then I saw this, that I was like, do you know what? I can understand why my body was just screaming for that dopamine hit, why it wanted to cope in that way. And I say this all the time, but understanding something psychologically is always the first step to healing it, because it's so much easier to accept and to understand when you know why it's happening. So I decided that for the greater good, it would be better for me on the night to allow myself to indulge a little bit, but keep it relatively controlled. And guys, it worked. I also was really getting the craving for alcohol. God, I love beer. I just love beer so much. A can of beer, a can of Cruz Campo, a can of Kronenberg. It's my favourite thing. Like, I absolutely love it. Little glass of wine, little glass of Savvy B with my tea. That's my thing, girl. That is my thing. However, I know that one drink is gonna loosen me up a little bit. Make me release my inhibitions and feel the rain on my skin, if you know what I mean. So oftentimes I'll have one drink and I'll be like, well, I've had one now, so I'll just have another one. And then I'll be like, well, we've had 2 drinks, so should we just get like a little takeaway? And I need no encouragement to treat myself. I just feel like I always deserve a treat all the time. So we decided not to drink and we stuck to the Diet Coke. Did I throw a tantrum with myself? Maybe. Did I cry a little? Maybe. Did I feel like I was torturing myself? Yeah. But we're on a mission. We've got goals. And I owe it to myself to be taking these goals seriously, because I haven't taken them seriously for the past however many years. And I'll be damned, girl. She's got a lot planned. We've got a lot going on. We've got a lot in the woodworks. And it's very, very exciting. And I truly believe that this is the time the manifestations manifest themselves. Because I'm becoming the person who I need to be in order to have that life, in order to be able to carry myself through that life that I want. A little bit of spirituality for my spiritual queens. I'm now carrying myself on the frequency of a CEO baddie who is disciplined, who does things even when she doesn't want to, who makes decisions for the greater good. You know what I mean? She's controlled. She's sexy, she's sassy, she's classy. You know? Okay. How I've been coping this week, honestly, not very well. Kicking and screaming. Like I said, just, it's been crazy. It's been a real emotional whirlwind. And I think I've felt every emotion known to man times 10 for the last 7 days straight. But what I will say is, on the Sunday, I felt this overwhelming sense of gratitude for myself and this feeling of just pride and happiness, and it was like a rush of excitement towards the future. And I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, if I keep going like this, where the hell am I gonna be by Halloween in 4 weeks? Where am I gonna be by Christmas? Like, it's exciting. It's very exciting. Where am I going to be by early next year? It's very exciting. And that energy has carried with me into week 4 as well. I set myself up in week 3 to fully expect exactly the same in week 4. I was like, right, well, week 3 is literally no man's land. And it's probably going to be like this for week 4 as well. I felt very much like I was doing the hard thing every day and just not seeing any results. And I set myself up for more of that feeling in week 4. But I've woke up this morning and yeah, week 4 is the week where, I mean, I'll tell you about it next video. But let me just say, I've noticed some big changes in the mirror this morning that I will tell you about. So yeah, even though week 3 was a bit poo on the low, I'm glad of the experience, and I'm glad that I now know, no matter how hard things get, or no matter how loud the binge noise is, or the old patterns, limiting beliefs, no matter how loud they get, I'm stronger. and I've proved that I can get through them, so I can do it again. Yay! I just feel like my dream life is literally right in front of me, and I'm making a beeline for it. It's very, very exciting. So yeah, that's week 3 done. My week 3 update. I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, please comment whereabouts you are on your weight loss video, and we can give each other some love. We can hype each other up in the comments. If you haven't already watched my week 1 and week 2 update, make sure you go check those out. And yeah, sending you the most love and the most positive energy for your Bernie for your journey. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the fam. And I will see you in my 1 month update. What? Amazing. Anyway, have the best day. Love you, bestie. Bye.